You ready to go?
One more day and we will. No, we're ready to go. I think everybody's excited. It's again, it's an exciting moment of the year when you're about to start your season, and on top of that, you're able to do it at home. Like I think everybody's excited and looking forward to it.
Why'd you move to the stadium today?
Excuse me.
Why did you move to the stadium?
Just wanted the guys to have a feeling for it, get back into like this is our place. We need to like live it. We need to experience it. Like 2 days before, felt like the right thing to do to have an understanding of like the state of the grass, like the stadium again, and get that feeling that we want to have on Saturday in mind as well.
Is there still some uncertainty? Edu not out there today, Dirk not
We're
there.
still evaluating. It's like every day, I mentioned that I think at the start of the week, where like every other company, like people are getting sick, like people have their personal life, personal situation. So we're assessing every day, and we'll see tomorrow what's the state of the squad.
So both are possible
Yes.
for Saturday.
Matt, Coach, what are some of the things you've been working on in evaluating your team against Charlotte? What you've seen from them in tape and how you're training the team to face against them?
Preseason. So in preseason, you can only take so much information, like the same way with rotating the squad a lot. We've tried different things they've done as well. So like we take everything with a pinch of salt. Again, I think they've had the same manager for a couple of years now. We know what to expect in terms of the structure, in terms of the way they're gonna play. Like that's a solid team that made it to the playoff last year. That has some years together. So we're expecting like a solid group to come here in St. Louis, and that is gonna be very good, like in the on the defensive side, in keeping a compact block and making things difficult for us, but also like has some threats in going forward. So those are the expectation of them coming this weekend.
First starting 11, kind of a big deal for a new coach. Have you landed on some guys without giving it away? Do you feel like you've kind of made your decision so far?
Yeah, I think we're getting close. Like again, we make decision based on the information we've got. We had 5 weeks of information in an environment that is less pressured than the one we're gonna have on Saturday. So you're trying to get an understanding of the players, their abilities, how they're dealing with the demand of the game, the demand that we're putting on them, like in terms of the playing style. And right now, after 5 weeks, we've got a good idea of like what it's gonna look like on Saturday. But like every game is gonna be a good opportunity to evaluate and keep moving forward.
Justin. Touching on that starting 11, and sometimes there's an idea that your best 11 are always going to be in the starting lineup. But in your mind, do you have an idea of on the best day, these 11 will start, or does it just depend on the certain situation of the team that you're playing and how that matches up?
Yeah, that's a great question. There's a lot of different things, a lot of different moving pieces, whether we're speaking about player availability, we're speaking about player profile, we're speaking about our game plan, the structure we want to have, but also the opposition and how they play. So all of this come into the equation when it comes to making decision. So I'd say every week that's what it's going to be about, assessing the level of the team, the level of performance, looking at the next opponent, how we wanna set up for that game. What are the profile of the players that we have available, and from there on make the best decision like for the team for that game. So again, seasons are long. We mentioned that in preseason to the group. We're gonna need everyone. We're gonna need everybody. There will be like cycles. There will be moments where maybe the same guys will start a couple of games. There will be moments where we'll need some other guys. Again, I've never seen a team that starts with one team and finishes with the same.
And Matt kind of touched on it, but that Charlotte are coming in, they have kind of a defined play style, and you kind of know what to expect. Does that help you, starting this first week that you kind of know the opponent that you're facing a little bit better?
100%. Like at the end of the day, like when you face a team that has a new coach and you just have like a couple of preseason game to look at the team, like you don't really know what to expect because everything is new. But for them, I think we've got a little bit more certainty on like what to expect on Saturday, which is great, makes things easier to prepare for. But at the end of the day, the main focus is on ourselves, like it's about us, how we've been working the past 5, 6 weeks now, the way we want to play, the way we want to show up, and the mindset we want to have. So like the main focus always been on us. Of course, there is some information that we need to communicate to the players that are impacting also some of the decision we're making. But apart from that, like again, we're looking at ourselves.
Drew.
Hey, coach, what are your emotions like when you get out on the pitch so close to your first official match with this club?
Right now, I'm completely locked in the preparation of the game. So I'd say it's a lot of day to day. Like this week's been very busy, like on and off the pitch. So all my focus goes into the preparation in terms of the messaging, in terms of the information we're delivering to the players, in terms of how we make them feel as well going into that game. So right now, I'm not focusing too much on how I'm feeling. I'm more focusing on like how I want people around me to feel, like whether it's the staff, the players, and also the amount of information we want to deliver. So of course, I'm excited. I think that excitement will grow as we get closer to kickoff. But for now, I'd say I'm pretty locked in on the last few things we need to touch on before Saturday.
You got anyone else? Matt?
Coach, not every player who was in training this week is on the St. Louis City roster. Roster lock date is tomorrow. Have you made any decisions that you can let us in on who you're looking to keep on the roster, maybe from super drafts, trialists that have yet to be signed?
The kids that are not rostered with us that were in preseason, like the draftee, like I've been like in discussion with the club. Those kids won't be like on the roster. Again, we've been discussing with them about the second team, about their potential for the future, for the first team as well. So that's probably basically all I can tell you right now. Like you won't see them on Saturday. They actually all of them that were with us today like traveled this afternoon to go play to Indianapolis tomorrow because they need to get some minutes. They need to keep developing. We need to keep looking at them. But apart from that, now the main focus is on our guys, on the guys that are signed with us right now.
And then any updates on Mbake, his potential arrival soon?
Yeah, I think Mbake is getting close to arrive, so I don't think you guys will see him like in training or on the pitch like this weekend. But I think next week you should see a new face in the building.
Rocky?
Just what we've seen from early in the preseason, that the wingbacks are playing pretty high, and coming up against Charlotte, Toffolo and Zaha over on that left side. Just how do you account for that much attacking power up your guys' wing, and how do you account for all of that attacking?
Yeah, again, that's part of the things that we've been addressing in preseason is like the way we want to attack should also set us up in the plan. So like again, there is some key position when we're attacking that we want to take that should help us prevent those moments of transition or those moments where we might be a little bit unbalanced. But basically, it goes into also understanding the defensive priorities. Like there is going to be moments of crisis. There is going to be moments where we're not perfectly set. So it's how we deal with it, like collectively, like what mindset do we have in those moments and how are we able to make those plays, like I think if we're able to recognize those moments, we'll be able to deal with them. But like I said, like it's a learning in progress, like for the group. So I think our structure should allow us to manage those moments. But again, you need to know that 90 minutes, there might be one moment here and there that we are going to have to adjust, and we're going to have to maybe make some decision individually and collectively that will help us get back behind the ball and reset in our defensive shape.
We go Tom, then finish with Brendan.
Conrad can play a bunch of positions. Where does he fit in best for you right now?
Right now, I'm looking at him everywhere. He's been great playing on the outside, but like he keeps my mind open. That's the part of the job I enjoy the most. Is like when you have guys that are versatile, that can play in different positions. I think for us, it allows us to be more creative in the structure we want to have. So like we've got a couple of ideas. We haven't run too many of them in preseason. Right now, we want to give like some stability to the group. But again, like having a player like him that can play in different positions, that can play inverted, can play on the outside, on the inside, gives me like a lot of things to work with for the future. So this is in the back of my head. At the minute, I've got some other focus, but he's been great, like playing in on the outside areas and in wide areas for us at the minute.
And is he fit enough to do 90 minutes?
Yeah. Again, like, can I really answer that question? Probably not. There is an element that I cannot disregard, which is like when you play at home and when you're getting pushed by the fans, how much more can you really give, So I think it's going to be an assessment. We've got a couple of guys. He's one of them that arrived late in preseason. So, of course, he's a little bit behind like some of the guys. But you never know. Like the human body is something very interesting. And when it comes to adrenaline and like having the fans pushing you, sometimes you can do some crazy things. So I'm not putting any limits. Of course, we'll monitor him and we'll be careful with him. That's the advantage of having the live feed during games. Like we can also like make sure we prevent any kind of risk. At the end of the day, it's about the big picture. It's about the long term. It's not about just Charlotte this weekend. So we got to make the best decision for the longer term.
We'll finish with Brennan.
Coach, as you take over a group that for a lot of the guys that haven't done a lot of winning the last couple of years, how much could a win in the home opener be a springboard to just what you want to do in the early portion, but just like big picture to get off to that kind of start?
I don't know anybody that would tell you he doesn't want to win any game. So like, of course, like starting with a win would be amazing. Would be a great start. Would reinforce everything we do. So, of course, that's the plan. Like we're going into Saturday like to win the game. Like that's the plan. That's the mindset. Now again, we need to go in those games with the confidence in our preparation, and that's why like again for me it's about preparing the best we can during the week, focusing on ourselves, having an understanding of Charlotte, and giving the group and giving ourselves the confidence that we've prepared for different scenarios that will allow us to win. At the end of the day, we want to control the controllables, which is the way we're going to play, the way we're going to attack, the way we're going to defend, and maybe deal with those moments of transition at times where we're going to be unbalanced. So can we understand the game dynamic this weekend? And again, get it over the line and get a result. And of course, like, that's what we want to do because there is no better way to start a season than with a win. Now, the reality is I want to focus on the performance. If we can be like good for 90 minutes, if we can perform up to the level of our standards and our expectation in terms of how we want to play, that's what we can control. After that, we've all been part of games where like there is one corner, there is one this, there is one that, and it ends up in the back of the net. And you shouldn't throw everything by the window, like because of that. So like I want us to assess the performance. If with performance comes the result, then great. Then we're on track. Then for me, like it's the best building block we could have to go into game 2. Now, if we don't, there is no panic button. It's the start of the season. It's a group that is building, that is learning. And that's also like the thing for me that is about, let's focus on our preparation. Let's be confident about what we've been doing for 6 weeks now, go into that game and go all in and see what we do and see how we do it. And then after we'll assess and we'll reflect.
Perfect. Coach, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Tom, go ahead.
Hi, Conrad.
Hi.
How's it been? Getting back up to speed after your sort of late arrival here?
Yeah, I'm getting there. It's been a long off season for me, way too long. Yeah, so I was itching to get back and get the work started. So now I'm really starting to get there, and the matches will just help build my fitness and everything like this. So yeah, it's been a tough couple of weeks now for sure. Coming into a group that's that's been training for short months. So but it's been good.
And how has been the adjustment for you of not just the minutes, but the format, the style that Yoann has planned?
Yeah, I really like it. I got a good indication of what I was expecting before I came. I had a long chat with Yoann before I came, so I knew what to expect and what he expected of us as a team and me as an individual. So it's been good. I really like the type of style he brings and the mentality. So I'm excited.
You like how it suits your skill set? Do you fit better in some places in his system than in others?
Yeah, for sure. I will probably be a lot more involved in the opposition box this year, hopefully. So that's a good thing.
We'll go, let's do across the line. Jonathan, Justin, then Matt.
So this is a roster that seems to be in flux. There's guys that haven't gotten to train yet, injuries, people you're still waiting for. What's the team cohesion like? Do you feel like this is a side that is together and has an identity and is ready to go?
Yeah, for sure. It's been it's a lot of the same guys that was here last year. So we have some new additions and maybe waiting for some additions. So it's just about bringing them into the group. It's already a group and a group dynamic that's there already, and the new additions just add on to the group already. So we're not waiting to get started or waiting for some people or injuries or whatever. This is part of the sport. Like injuries happens, people are in and out. So the core group needs to step up and set the standard. So it shouldn't really matter who is there, who is not there. It should be the same principles, the same style, whoever is there.
Justin.
Conrad, for you on a personal level, obviously you end last season not 100% sure where you're going to play next, going back, and then the idea that City might come calling for you. But to get that call and then to know definitively that you're coming back to St. Louis, how has that experience been like for you?
No, it's been good. We had the communication almost since the end of last season, but there was a lot of new things also happening here with new sporting director and new coach, and a lot of things they had to set in order also before they even look at the roster and everything like this. So it's been a long process for sure. And I knew all along St. Louis was interested, and I was clear with them. I was interested also to come back, so we both wanted to explore it, and it took time because there are two clubs that need to agree. That's the main thing. Me personally, didn't took a long time to agree because I was ready to go. But the clubs, you know how it works in this sport. It's all about the finance and how they can meet each other and the transfer fee and all that fits into the roster rules and all of that things. So it's been a long process, too long in my opinion. It was 3.5 months, so it's good to be back.
When I talked to Thomas Thailand in the preseason, kind of right after the deal had been done, he was very excited to have you back in the mix. So that's been nice just to meet some old friends from last season and just kind of get back into the groove.
Yeah, for sure. It's been very good to be back. See the boys again, the people at the club, the people in the city. Everything has been good. Now just can't wait until Saturday to get the real stuff started.
Matt.
In those conversations these last few months, as the clubs were, as this club was looking to bring you back, what were they telling you about your value to them, your qualities that they wanted to see return to St. Louis?
Yeah, I got the feeling all along that even with when Corey came in and when Yoann came in, they had a very strong feeling. They had a big desire to bring me back. And even though they didn't know me at a personal level, I got the feeling they had spoken to a lot of people in the club that was there last year and seen in video and stuff. So I got the confirmation that both of them really wanted to make it happen and valued me in the squad. And to make the deal happen at the first place, they needed to value me because it was a transfer fee there and everything like this. So it wouldn't make any sense for them to try to bring me if they didn't value me. So this is the real point. And when I had the conversation with Yoann before it got real serious, it's also got my confirmation on what I was looking for also from the club and him and the playing style and all of that.
How would you describe that playing style? Yoann, from everybody we've talked to, has been pretty clear, pretty direct, and detailed. How would you describe what he's wanting to implement for you and for the team?
Yeah, that's some good characteristics. He is, like you said, he's very detailed. He has a very clear plan and the vision of what he wants us to look like and our principles. And he is dynamic within that, of course, the system. But he's been very clear from the start, or from I got there at least, and I heard from the other guys before I came. It's very clear. He knows what he wants. He sets the demands high, and that's something we really need in this group, and to take the next step also. And the style also is a very exciting style. I think people will probably like watching the style, how we're going to look this year. Hopefully, if we make the right things happen on the pitch, that's of course another thing. So it's been very clear from Yoann from I got there for sure.
We'll go Brendan and Rocky.
Conrad, what was, for you, what drew you back? Because there are some unknowns first before you come and see what the style ultimately is and what the plan is. But it sounds like you were sort of all in before you knew all the particulars.
Yeah, it's I was from last year, like said through the whole year almost. This I saw so much potential in this city, in the group here, in the people in the club. There's so many good people here working in the club. I've been in a lot of different clubs, and when I got here, I got to see like, okay, this. I feel like we can really build something here. My family liked it here, so it's been from that point. It was clear all along, but of course, you don't make a final decision before you have the coach in mind and you speak to the coach and all of these things. But from a club wise and city wise, it's been something I wanted to come back to, and I felt I have some unfinished business here because I really want to achieve something with this team and this club for the city. So for me, all along, it was about giving what the people of St. Louis and the fans gave us all last year, something back now the next couple of years.
Awesome. Rock you.
I know a lot of this, it's been on a short time frame, but the matchup on Saturday, if you are on the right side, you have probably one of the toughest matchups in the game in Toffolo and Zaha over on their left side. So just kind of what's jumped out to you with the video you have been able to do about that matchup and the best way for you to play it.
Yeah, it's a good matchup. It's always fun to play against the best players. It's a player who played in the Premier League for many years, so it's always fun. But I think for us, yeah, personally, I watch video of what things you need to avoid happening, but also as a team, it's avoiding them to get the spaces here that he will be good in. So that's also a team thing about avoiding those situations that he can make the unbalance, make the counter attacks. He's very good in that. So it's mostly about how we look as a team to prevent him getting those spaces that he's the best of the best in. So, but it's a good challenge. So can't wait.
Finish with Drew.
Conrad, your passing ability is one of the marquee pieces of your game. How does Damet's system kind of benefit your passing or change the way you think about passing?
Yeah, it's part of my game that I wanted to bring more. I probably got to bring more into the end of last year when I got a little bit more freedom to go in the box, and we'll see a lot more of that this year. So to bring that part of my game into the final third is the most important thing, because there is where the goals are scored. So to be in positions where I can set up my teammates with my passing within inside the opposition box is the goal this year for sure.
We'll finish with Tom.
Taking any inspiration from the Winter Olympics?
Yeah, but the problem is the things I want to watch is like in the middle of the night. So so all the cross country skiing, and I just wake up every other day to a gold medal from the cross country skiing. So
It's a great time to be Norwegian.
yeah, it normally is when it's Winter Olympics. It's normally a good time to be Norwegian. Yeah.
Have you done any of those, whether it's speed skating or cross country skiing? Or
I've tried speed skating. I've done cross country skiing. I did for a couple of years, but training was a bit boring. So it's like
the same thing.
yeah, it's the same thing, technique, this, that. So soccer is more complete, it's more yeah, was more interesting for me. So, but yeah, for sure, it's like people say that the Norwegians are born with their skis on their feet. So so it's some element of truth in that. Yeah.
Awesome. Connor, thank you.
Thank you, Conrad.
Thank you.